What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again, not to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide, even though there's always something to talk about when it comes to my Alabama Crimson Tide. But I'm not here to talk about them right now. I am here to talk about the SEC teams that I think will have the most explosive offense in 2024. I didn't put these teams in no particular order. I didn't rank them. Okay? So, if your team is not on my list, don't get your panties in a bunch. It's opinion based. If you don't agree, just put who you think will have the most explosive offense in the SEC in the comment section. Okay? Don't get your panties in a bunch. Remember, opinion based. And the way I pick these teams is because of the head coach, the personnel they got coming back, the personnel they added via the transfer portal, and part of the true freshmen that they got coming in for the 2024 class, or who have already arrived and took part in spring practice and the spring game. So that's how I chose the teams that I got. And I got 4 teams. All right, that was 1/4 of the SEC, of 16 teams right now. I got 4 teams. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it, and let me name my teams off. All right, and like I said, if you don't agree, don't get your panties in a bunch. But the first team that I got on my list is Lane Kiffin and those Ole Miss Rebels. We already know Lane Kiffin is one of the best offensive minds in the game. He's one of the best play callers in the game. Lane Kiffin caters to his offensive players, especially his quarterback. He knows how to get the best out of an offense. All right, Alabama fans know, because Lane Kiffin was our offensive coordinator at one time. So there's no disputing that Lane Kiffin is one of the best offensive minds in the game. He got Jackson Dart coming back, his quarterback, who last season threw for over 3,300 yards, 23 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions, all right? So, and I think Jackson Dart will have a better year this year, all right? Then who else? You got copious notes. You got wide receiver Trey Harris coming back. And if you looked at Ole Miss last season or watched Ole Miss last season, you know what kind of wide receiver Trey Harris is. That guy got great hands and great route running. But anyway, almost 1,000-yard receiver last season with 985 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's what he got coming back. And what did he also got Jordan Watkins coming back, who had 741 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. All right? And guess who he added? He added Antoine Juice Wells, South Carolina transfer. In my opinion, he was the best offensive player that South Carolina had. And Lane Kiffin brought him in to added him to his offense. Antoine Juice Wells. He was hurt last season. All right? But 2022, he had 928 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns. Those are some good numbers. All right? 928 yards. I'm going to say, once again, almost 1,000-yard receiver. Okay, all right. 72 yards away. Not bad. Okay. Then at the running back position, he bringing back Ulysses Benson. Had 540 yards rushing last season with 4 touchdowns. And then he added LSU transfer Logan Diggs. And once again, if you looked at or watched LSU last year and paid attention to that running game and Logan Diggs, you know he's a hell of a running back. All right. He had 653 yards rushing last season with 7 touchdowns. They lost Quishon Judson to the transfer portal. He was one of the best running backs in all of college football, especially in 2022. Took a little bit of a U-turn in 2023, but he was still damn good and still had good numbers. All right, they lost him. But I think Logan Diggs can be just as good as Quishon Judson. That's my opinion. Now, they different kind of backs, but I think Logan Diggs can be just as good. All right. So, but yeah, I got Ole Miss as having one of the most explosive offenses in the SEC in 2024. Next up, I got newcomer Texas Longhorns and Steve Sarkisian. We can just call Steve Sarkisian Steve, the telephone man Sarkisian, because Sark be on the sideline dialing up those plays. I remember him from last season playing against Alabama. He on the sideline, cool, calm, and collective, dialing up plays. Again, one of the best offensive minds in the game, one of the best play callers in the game. Just like Lane Kiffin, he caters to the best ability of his quarterback, of his offensive players. Sark, Alabama fans, just like Lane Kiffin, know this, because just like Lane Kiffin, he was our offensive coordinator at one time too, and brought us a national championship in 2020 with Mac Jones and Devontae Smith. Turned Devontae Smith into a Heisman Trophy winner. Yes, he did. But anyway, yes, Steve Sarkisian, these Texas Longhorns, and Steve Sarkisian got Quinn Ewers coming back. I don't know. Well, shit, Quinn Ewers threw for damn near 3,500 yards last season, but only 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 3,500 yards is damn good. So, and then he got Arch Manning backing him up, and we all seen what Arch Manning did in Texas spring game. I say you can't take a lot from a spring game. It might not translate over to the regular season, but what you can take from Arch Manning from that and the spring game is his accuracy, the way he delivered the ball, his awareness in the pocket. You can take that away from the game, okay? Or Arch Manning in the spring game. You can take that away from it, because Arch Manning was stellar in that game. But anyway, then he added Isaiah Bond, Alabama transfer. We know what Isaiah Bond meant to Alabama. In my opinion, he was our best receiver last season. You know what he did against Auburn. Caught the game-winning catch, called the grave digger. In my opinion, SEC game, Isaiah Bond put up a clinic. All right. On one scoring drive, he caught every pass. All right. That was the same drive that some people say was it. One of those catches wasn't a catch. Well, it was reviewed. The reviewing official said it was a catch, so it was a catch. Isaiah had a great game in that SEC championship game, Isaiah Bond. But he decided to transfer to Texas, and in their spring game, he caught a 75-yard touchdown pass. I believe that was from Arch Manning too. So, hey, it is what it is, man. Then let me look at my copious notes. Then who they got? They got Houston transfer, Matthew Golden. He had 404 yards last season and 6 touchdowns. All right, for Houston. Going back to Isaiah Bond, he had 668 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns last season. It looked like more, okay, because I guess the way he was playing, it looked like he had more stats than that. But again, they added Houston transfer wide receiver Matthew Golden with 404 yards and 6 touchdowns last season. And they got 5-star Ryan Wingo, who had a great game, or spring game, okay? He caught I believe he caught a 55-yard touchdown pass, okay? So, yeah, in the spring game, Isaiah Bond transfer and true freshman 5-star Ryan Wingo had 7 catches, 179 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Those are good numbers in the spring game. So, hey, it is what it is. They also got Jonte Cook, who's the #1 wide receiver in Texas. So, yeah, they're going to have a hell of a wide receiver corps. Also, Texas got running back C.J. Baxter, who ran for 659 yards and 5 touchdowns last season. He's coming back, man. Jaden Blue, 398 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. And he had 14 catches out the backfield for 135 yards. All right. They lost Xavier Worthy, but they added Isaiah Bond. So yeah, this is going to be an explosive offense, especially with Steve Sarkisian calling the plays. I have no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. My third team. Josh Heupel and those Tennessee Volunteers. All right. I know they lost their starting quarterback, Joe Milton. I know that. But guess what? Joe Milton wasn't that great of a quarterback anyway. Had the Tennessee fan base wanted him benched for Nico. And guess what? Nico will be starting this season. All right. And just like Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, again, Josh Heupel is one of the best offensive minds in the game. Josh Heupel caters to the best ability of his offensive players, the quarterback, especially the quarterback. Josh Heupel will change his whole offensive scheme from one year to the next to cater to the ability of his best offensive players. Because you remember in 2022 when he had Hendon Hooker, pass first offense. All right. And then in 2023, a run first offense, because he knew Joe Milton didn't have the capabilities that Hendon Hooker had. Joe Milton had a deep ball. He could throw the ball out of the damn stadium. But if ain't nobody catching it, what does it matter? He wasn't accurate. But anyway, going back to 2022 with Hendon Hooker, you had those great wide receivers, Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman, Brew McCoy, Squirrel White. And they used the hell out of them. All right. And I believe, yes, Tennessee, was it Tennessee? No, they wind up going, 11-2 that season. Had a great season. Best season they done had since 1998. All right. But anyway, they got Nico this year. Like I said, half of the Tennessee fan base wanted Joe Milton benched for Nico. But guess what? I don't blame Josh Heupel. I'm not finna bench a guy who's been there and waited his turn for a true freshman. What Nico did, and I agree with Josh Heupel, he let Nico stay in that backup role and learn the system. All right? He had to learn the system, okay? And I think Nico will come in and do great things for Tennessee this year. All right? His first year as a starter. Going back to last season in the bowl game, Nico took him to a win. Nico know when to get out that pocket, all right, and run. And he did that in the bowl game, scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns with his legs. All right. You look at this spring game, Nico went, 7 of 9. He was 7 of 7, missed his last 2 passes. Great game. But anyway, Nico will be the starting quarterback. All right. But if Nico go down, Tennessee won't have a problem at the quarterback position. They will not. Because who you got? Nico, then you got Gaston Moore, who's a great backup from what I seen. Now, this is just the spring game. And that's one thing I took away from that spring game was their quarterback position. They quarterbacks won the day for that in that spring game. All 3 of them. Nico, Gaston Moore, and Jake Merklinger. Okay, so they don't have an issue at the quarterback position, which is good. If Nico go down, I don't think this offense will take a step back. All right, and I believe this season, just like 2022, Tennessee will be a pass-heavy offense, pass first. But anyway, they got Brew McCoy coming back at the wide receiver wide receiver position. He was hurt last season, broke his leg. All right, we'll see if he can pick up where he left off, because Brew McCoy can be a dynamic receiver. All right, then you got Squirrel White coming back. We know who Squirrel White is. That dude got some excellent hands. All right, 803 yards, 2 touchdowns last season, 12-yard average. All right, and then you add Tulane transfer wide receiver Chris Braswell, I guess it's how you name Brazil, whatever. But anyway, he had 711 yards receiving last season and 5 touchdowns. This dude averaged over 16 yards a catch. So yeah, they gonna have an explosive passing game. I'm going to just say that. Then they got running back Dylan Sampson coming back, who was part of that 3-rotation running back system last season. He rushed for 604 yards and 7 touchdowns. Okay, I believe Dylan Sampson, I think he entered the transfer portal and then took his name out. Because guess what? He's going to have his time now. All right. So, yeah, I think Josh Heupel, they're going to have an explosive offense. One of the explosive offense in the SEC in 2024. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, hey, it is what it is. You got to give credit where credit's due. I might not like Tennessee. I might not like Josh Heupel, but I'm going to give them their credit. And I think they will have an explosive offense in 2024. All right. Oh, man, my eyes getting a little blurry. Damn. Let me put on my glasses. Oh, man. Anyway. And my last team I got on my list is my Alabama Crimson Tide coach Kalen DeBoer. Let's just call him Debo because he going to be bullying every damn body. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let's talk about Coach Kalen DeBoer for a minute once again. One of, if not the best, offensive minds in all of college football. I'm just put it like that. We know what Coach Kalen DeBoer is about, and that's all about winning no matter where he go. This man produces 1,000-yard receivers. He can take a mediocre quarterback and turn him into one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I ain't going to say mediocre. I'm going to say average. We'll take an average quarterback and turn him into one of the best in the country. A Heisman Trophy candidate. That's what he can do. And I feel like in 2024, Coach Kalen DeBoer will turn Jalen Milroe into a Heisman Trophy candidate. But if you don't remember, Jalen Milroe was 6th in Heisman voting last season. Okay? That's all right. Miss going to New York by 1 spot. Then, you know, if something happened to Milroe, I got all the confidence in the world that Ty Simpson can come in and keep this offense going. I really do. And yeah, we gonna be one of the most explosive offenses in all of college football. You can believe that. We got Jalen Milroe coming back. All right. I don't know all Jalen Milroe stats, but I believe he had like 23, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,000-something odd yards. All right. But one thing about it, Jalen Milroe took us to 10 straight wins in order to get to the SEC championship. Jalen Milroe led us to victory in the SEC championship against a team that won 29 games in a row, back-to-back national champions. Jalen Milroe took us to victory against that team. That's all I know. You might talk about my quarterback, but hey, he get the job done. All right. Then, copious notes. We got Kendrick Law coming back. It is now Kendrick Law's time. We got Washington transfer Jeremy, but these are wide receivers. Wide receiver Kendrick Law. It's his time. Kendrick Law gonna be a big play receiver for us. We got Washington wide receiver Jeremy Bernard coming back. Well, not coming back, but he's with my Alabama Crimson Tide right now. And we all saw how dynamic this guy can be in that A-Day game. All right. Wide receiver Kobe Prentice coming back. We know all about Kobe Prentice. It's his time. Then we got Caleb Odom, true freshman, who changed his position from tight end to wide receiver, 6'5". He gonna show up and show out too. All right, I'm just letting y'all know these names might be new to some of y'all. All right, so y'all just remember these names. Write them down if you want to. And when you see him, just say, KB told us. All right. That's all you got to do. All right. We got Emmanuel Henderson coming back. Well, I need to see Emmanuel Henderson in that slot. I need to see that. Mind you, Ryan Hollywood Williams ain't got on campus yet. But I guarantee you, he make his mark as a true freshman in that wide receiver room. I can guarantee you that. Once again, the back-to-back Mr. Football for the state of Alabama. Back-to-back. All right. Let's talk about this running back core with Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Richard Young. Y'all, I know y'all know about Justice Haynes. I know you know about him. All you got to do is read about him coming out of high school. He already showed some flashes. Kalen DeBoer finna turn this thing up. You can believe that. Jam Miller, he showed you what he can do in the 8A game. You can take that away from it. All these running back. Richard Young, the power back. He'll run your ass over and he will carry your ass. Plain and damn simple. You look at that tight end position. CJ Dupree, Danny Lewis, and Robbie House. All of them are capable of putting together big games. Probably at different times. All right? So, I have no doubt that my Alabama Crimson Tide will have one of the most explosive offenses in all, I'm going to say all of college football, if not the most explosive, with Kalen DeBoer heading this thing. Debo, because we going to bully every damn body. You can believe that. And those are the 4 teams within the SEC that I think will have the most explosive offense. Ole Miss, Texas, Tennessee, and my Alabama Crimson Tide in no particular order. And I know for a fact that every one of these teams on my list will give the opposing defense hell. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because why? Those 4 coaches that lead these teams are 4 of the most dynamic offensive minds in the game. And you're going to see that if you haven't already. Watch what I tell you. So, hey, it is what it is. Like I say, if you don't agree, don't get your panties in a bunch. It's opinion-based. Okay, let me take off my glasses. I just had to see who that last team was. That's all. Couldn't remember. But yeah, man. Those are my 4 teams who I think going to have the most explosive offenses within the SEC. Okay, so hey, it is what it is, man. And if you don't agree, hey, it's all good, man. You're supposed to pull for your team and support your team. But let's be real about it. That's all I'm saying. So, without any further ado, y'all be blessed. And I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide and roll damn Tide.